far away from the wilds of the Florida Everglades. Away from the trendy downtown high-rises and shops and the beautiful people of Miami Beach, sits a suburb of Orlando, Florida with roots in the citrus industry. But Winter Park, you may be surprised to learn, is also the home of the world's largest collection of Louis Comfort Tiffany art, housed here at the Morse Museum. For many, the Tiffany name is synonymous with stained glass lamps and jewelry. The reality, however, is that lamps were only a small part of what Louis Comfort Tiffany did during the span of his career. The art world was a far cry from the jewelry empire that Tiffany's father had spent his life building. But it was the decorative arts, particularly stained glass, that captivated Tiffany. Elsewhere in the world, conventional artists were creating stained glass by painting enamel directly onto glass. Tiffany, however, had developed a radically different approach to the medium by creating colored opalescent glass. This technique created a completely different look and feel to the finished product. And because of the process involved in making the glass, each piece of work was unique. In his prime, Tiffany employed thousands of master artisans to carry out his work, which ranged from stained glass church windows and commissioned pieces to blown glass, pottery, and paintings. Of all the priceless Tiffany work on display at the Morse Museum, there is one so grand in scale and so steeped in history that it commands its own wing of the museum. The year was 1893. The event, the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, Illinois. In order to further his business in creating custom works for churches, Tiffany created a chapel interior as an exposition piece. The ornately detailed interior was so beautiful that it said visitors to the exposition removed their hats in reverence of its presence. And today, some 120 years later, the intact chapel is on display at the Morse Museum. Entering the room, you are taken to the setting of a Gothic chapel. The weight of the detail of the room is instantly apparent as visitors lower their tone as if they've just walked into a church. In 1898, the exhibition piece was purchased and used as a chapel for the Cathedral Church of St. John the Divine in New York City, and was later installed at Tiffany's personal home at Laurelton Hall. As a complete set, the Tiffany Chapel includes 3 large stained glass windows and 1 large stained glass 10 by 8 foot electrified chandelier in the shape of a cross. The presentation of the chapel at the exposition in 1893 helped make Tiffany a success. The chapel is among the most popular items in the Tiffany collection that is on display at the Morse Museum. But there are many other pieces to see. The scope of Tiffany's work is wide. He's considered the first American artist to achieve this level of international acclaim and lasting success. Most certainly, what made Tiffany so prolific and set him apart was his approach to success. In many ways, Tiffany was both an artist and a capitalist at the same time. He was quoted once as saying, "Go after the money there is in art, but the art will be there just the same." And after all the time that's passed, that statement still rings true. The art is here, on display at the Morse Museum in Winter Park, Florida.